It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talk Flicks podcast. I'm your host, Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. And ladies and gentlemen, this past week, I went back to Langley again. I had to file some reports and do some analysis, to handle some knocks. I had to do some spy stuff, because that's what I do. I go to Langley and hang out and do these things. Actually, I do none of those things. If you've been here before, you know what I actually do is I podcast. And this particular week, I went back to Langley because I saw the show The Agency, which is currently playing on Paramount Plus. And I'm going to talk about that. The first couple things. I want to give a big shout out to the Cleveland, Ohio area. Got some plays in the Cleveland area. You're the home of Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bone. Tell me what you gonna do. The Cleveland Major League Baseball team, Cleveland Browns. I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is over the area as well, if I remember correctly. So a lot of cool things happening in Cleveland. It may be in the lovely state of Michigan. I'm about to go down there and visit you guys one of these days. Probably this summer. We'll see what happens. So thanks for listening. Appreciate guys' gratitude. And additionally, this episode is brought to you by the album called Every Day Above Ground is a Good Day by Che Casanova and Sun Tzu Cosmic. This album is kind of influenced by Miami Vice and, Lake Michigan and summertime and sunshine and, cool clothes. Just kind of those vibes, right? And the production, unique style of electronic hip-hop beats and also some more melodic summertime tracks as well. It's a very unique soundscape. Got Sun Tzu Cosmic, got Che Casanova doing her thing. So if you want to hear this, I'll put it below. Check it out. Now, let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we went back to the spy world. But before I do, I want to say one thing. I want to send a special shout out to the community of Holland, Michigan. Me and Renee LA spent Independence Day, 4th America 250 up in Holland at the beach, chilling in the sand, looking at the lake, seeing yachts, seeing guys doing cool tricks on, those jet skis. Let me tell you this real quick. There was literally a guy who flipped his jet ski. Like he's driving his jet ski and he flipped it like a flip. I had never seen that in real life. It was phenomenally dope. I want to send a big shout out to you flipping your jet ski. Also, additionally, went to a cafe, good food, Boston coolers, plant-based options. The energy of the beach is phenomenal. Cool people, cool vibes in the sun, in the beach, in the sand. Everybody's lovely. The whole vibe was lovely. It's just a cool, dope spot chilling in Lake Michigan. And I want to send a big shout out to you guys for just being very welcoming as me and Renee LA was in your community, chilling, relaxing, enjoying just the loveliness of it. So awesome. And we will be back. So appreciate you guys. Now it's time to get into the agency. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this week, we're going deeper. Things are getting more interesting. They're just diving deeper into the world of mirrors. So if you've been following the show, a Martian is basically still trying to get his lady out of captivity. So a lady that he really cares about, that he met when he was doing a tour overseas as a case officer, living his life. He met this asset to this lady and he fell in love, right? This is what's going down. And so he's trying to get her free because she's got captured. And this whole web of mess is just very complex and he's doing this. Now, every action that Martian is taking is geared towards this. So he's running missions, he's running knocks, he's doing, intel work. But right now his main focus, over everything, besides maybe his daughter, is this lady to get her out of captivity. This is it. This is going down. And we've seen it happen the last, few episodes. And like what I said in the last few episodes, he literally turned his back on everybody. And so this was going down. There's also a bunch of other side things happening, side plots are happening. There's so much going on here. And there's so much I could talk about. There's just so much happening. But I'm just going to dive into some things that I really found interesting. And I'm going to get into this real quick. And this kind of threads through this story and previous shows and just the espionage shows and in the world in general, probably as well. So something to get into. Now, first, if you're brand new here, because getting a lot of new listeners, I am no expert in the espionage realm. I've just watched a lot of shows, read a lot of books, heard a lot of podcasts, and researched for like 15 years. So anyways, in this particular show, we see these guys playing in the world of espionage, at least the way it's portrayed on TV. Now, the one thing we see on TV and the movies that is in real life is that basically this particular world is built on relationships. Now, the military, operates a lot of times with this part, but also a lot of kinetics. We're talking physical confrontation with war and fists and guns and missiles and real physical attacks. But in the spy world, a lot of it's just mental battles. Mental jitsu, the war of the words, war of ideas, war of secrets, war of belief, faith, trust, right? Loyalty. And that's what I'm gonna get into today. A lot of the episode, and just going back further, is just who are you loyal to? It's just that. Right now, when you come up as an individual, as a human being, the unit begin a lot of times, this is not always the case, but a lot of times it's the family unit. You start here, right? You start here, I'm a son, I'm a daughter, and these are my family, and I'm loyal to these people. But as you get older, you start navigating the earth, the world, there is more communities, more groups that would like to get you to join them and give them some loyalty. Support them. And I've talked about this on the podcast numerous times. Over and over again, the running thread of this podcast has been, there are groups and they want you to get membership. And sometimes those groups are in conflict and overlap with each other, or they're teamed together, or they're at odds, or whatever. But the main thing too is over time, you develop loyalty to these particular groups. Loyal to your family. You're probably loyal to your family for many years. Sometimes you're not, sometimes you are, but this is just how it works. But to bring it back to the show, a lot of times in the spy world, doesn't matter which particular organization you work for, their job in these espionage spaces and this intelligence is to get other people who we want information from or access, who are loyal to other groups, countries, businesses, groups, or whatever they are. They're loyal to these particular people. And we need you to change that loyalty to us, or to have them both. But we need to get you to trust us and give us something that we need, or whatever the group might be. But that means we have to somehow sever the loyalty you have to this person, that group, that idea, whatever we're talking about. And that is the job of pretty much all the spy organizations, intelligence agencies on Earth. That's one aspect. Is how do our team go ahead and sever and change our loyalty to that person, that group, that thing, that idea, that belief, and bring it to where we want to take it to. And all of these groups are doing this. It's not just spy groups, but it's businesses. It's team. It's everywhere. Like it's in the spy world, but it's all the places. Who are you loyal to? And then what does it take for you to change that loyalty? And sometimes the group itself will cause it by treating their membership or their people badly. If you treat someone poorly, chances are they might join another team. And so for that other team to come at you, know you're disgruntled, they'll pick you up very easily. Sometimes you're super loyal and it takes more than that. But I think watching spy shows for so long, it comes down to that. What and who are you loyal to? Now, this is me in 2026. I could totally change the viewpoint. But right now, 26, I think this is probably solid for me. Is that the loyalty that you have for whatever it is, what's it take to break that and change that? And this is what they're doing in the spy world. After watching this episode and the other episodes I saw this season, it really is that. And also, too, how do you gain trust? How do I trust you? Now, in the episode, Martian Michael Fassbender is talking to one of his colleagues. And she's kind of like below him as far as in the seniority rank or as far as the years in. And Michael Fassbender's character, Martian, is considered like a black belt, for lack of a better term, in his spy world. All the skills, techniques that you need to perform well in the CIA, at least as portrayed in the show, he has those. He's high level, officer or analyst or whatever his title is. I don't know what his title is, but whatever he's doing, he's high level at that. And his junior wants to get access to him. And there's a scene in there where she's talking to him. And she knows he lied. And she's like, you lied so well. And he's like, it's like, I think he's a paraphrase. This is part of the game. The game is this. And in this space, and even in real life, it's this way. It's in the space, it's heightened here, but in real life, I think everybody does this on some level in order to get what they want. I think it's a rarity to find someone that doesn't. But in this particular scene, Martian saying, hey, this is what it takes. And it appears that she doesn't have or hasn't had access, or doesn't understand this. And so she's having a hard time, at least it's shown, she may be an expert, but she's shown this, to do that, to just sit there, look at someone, just tell them something's not true. But Fassbender, being skilled in this area, does it easily. And so he does a little test on her. He says, tell me something that's true or not true. And after she does it, he's, oh, you're good. And then he asks another question after that. He's like, is this part of the game? And I love this. He's like, we're always in the game. We're always playing the game. Because essentially, when you walk planet Earth, the phrase, we're always in the game, is true. Because I really believe this. Now, not necessarily in the espionage way or the way, lying way, but just in general. You know, the game of life, quotation mark for lack of a better term, is always in play. You always have to try to do better in this game about finance, relationships, and taking care of yourself in a physical way, your needs, get your wants, and everybody's trying to do this. So we're always playing the game, in my opinion. And so, like, the game never ends. You know, someone you know, family might pass away or something, but the game goes on. Bills are still showing up. You still got to get up and go to work. Right? The job still expects you to be there. You know, babies, families still got to be taken care of. This is always on, no matter what's going down. And so, like, the lesson of this and that line is, yeah, the game's always be playing. So you better be preparing and then just doing the work to get yourself ready for gameplay, right? Like, the game never ends. This is facts. You're always out there playing. Think of life kind of like sports sometimes. You know, you gotta be ready because it's going down. So anyways, I could go on and on, but this particular show is fantastic. Now, the source material of the Bureau is considered by many to be the best spy TV show ever made. This is a French show from France, but generally the communities that roll in or am in that love espionage stories and media and books and, you know, all these things, and James Bond and all that, they consider that the Bureau is top spot. And this particular show, The Agency, is a American version of that. As someone that's watched a lot of spy TV shows, read a lot of books, and read a lot of podcasts, and just did a lot of research on it, this is pretty solid. I'm going to go back on these message boards and see what they're saying now that maybe more people have been able to see it. But as someone that's really been down this rabbit hole for many years, it is pretty solid. No, is it the Bureau? Oh, of course, man, not quite. Nobody really has been able to do what the Bureau's done. It's a very hard bar to reach. But this is pretty solid. I will say that. So anyways, if you have not seen The Agency, I highly recommend you go check this out. And afterwards, watch the source material of the Bureau. But this show is good as well. It's a good way to dip your toe into the espionage world and see what's about. And I heard even in the mainstream circles that this show's doing well as well. So it's not just, us espionage aficionados, but it's also the mainstream guys. They love it too. So there's something kind of going on here. So anyways, and seen The Agency, highly recommend you go check it out. First season, second season, watch the Bureau as well. And this concludes the podcast. And until next time, we'll see you. I was not looking for my dreams to interpret my life, but rather for my life to interpret my dreams. Susan Sontag. Till next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks.